Welcome to Embracing Love. So let's begin tonight with a meditation. So we can close our eyes, settle into our seats, check back in with our bodies, let go of the day we just had. We can feel our feet on the ground, feel our hips on our seat, feel our backs, our torsos above our hips, our heads above our chest. Let's start with one deep cleansing inhale, breathing deeply, and then exhale, starting to let go of stress, let go of tension, let go of craziness of the world. Now let's bring our attention to our hearts, right in the center of our chest. Let's imagine feeling there in our hearts, feeling a warming, soothing feeling of love starting to grow in our hearts, starting to spread out throughout our chest, spreading up into the collarbones, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, that spot in between the shoulder blades, feeling soothing, calming love sensation spreading into the top of our chest. Maybe you'd like to roll your shoulders up to your ears and down and back, allowing the shoulders to relax. And we can imagine this soothing feeling of love spreading up into the throat, front of the neck, the sides of the neck, back of the neck. If there's any tension or tightness in the neck, let this soothing love relax the muscles, unwind the tension, letting all tightness, all pain leave the neck, leave the shoulders. Now, you can imagine this calming, soothing feeling spreading into the head, into the jaw. If you'd like to wiggle your jaw back and forth, release the jaw. And feel this soothing, calming sensation spreading up into the face, to the mouth, the lips, the teeth, the tongue, allowing them all to relax and be soothed. Feeling this calming, soothing feeling spreading into the cheeks, the nose, the eyes, eyelids, the eyebrows, forehead. Maybe if you'd like, you can scrunch up your face and then allow it to relax completely. Feeling this loving, soothing relaxation spreading into the sides of the head, ears, back of the head, moving up to the top of the head, soothing along the curve of the skull, coming up to the very crown of the head, feeling the entire head filled with this loving relaxation. Let's bring our attention back to the shoulders. Imagine this soothing love spreading into the arms now, to the upper arms, the biceps, and the triceps, bone in between. If you'd like, you can clench those upper arm muscles and then allow them to relax completely. Allowing this calming love to spread into the elbows, the inside of the elbows, the bony point at the back, sides of the elbows, allowing them to relax completely. As this soothing, relaxing love spreads down into the forearms, all the little forearm muscles, the inner forearms, the backs of the arms, bones in between. Maybe you'd like to squeeze these forearm muscles and then allow them to relax completely. Feeling this soothing, loving relaxation spreading into the wrists, the inside of the wrists, the back of the wrists, sides of the wrists. Allowing them to relax completely. Feeling this soothing relaxation spreading into the hands, the back of the hands, the palm of the hands, the thumbs, the knuckles, fingers. Maybe you like to wiggle the fingers, feeling each individual finger with love, and allowing the hands to be completely still and relaxed. Feeling this loving relaxation throughout the arms and upper torso. Now let's bring our attention back to the heart. Imagine this loving relaxation spreading down into the ribs, sternum, the middle back, sides of the ribs, the lower ribs, all the internal organs, the lungs, the heart, stomach, allowing them to be filled with this soothing, loving relaxation. Feeling this calm spread down into the abdomen. If you like, you can clench those abdominal muscles and then allow them to relax completely. Feeling this loving relaxation, front of the abdomen, the sides of the abdomen, lower back, lumbar spine, and all internal organs, the intestines, the liver, spleen. If there's any tightness anywhere in your stomach and your abdomen, allow it to relax, allow it to be soothed. Allow this soothing and relaxation to spread into the hips, crease at the front of the hips, the sides of the hips, the bottom of the hips, allowing them all to relax, be soothed. Next, feeling this soothing relaxation moving into the thighs, the big quadricep muscles on the top, the hamstrings on the bottom, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, the big femur bone in the inside. Maybe you'd like to contract those big upper leg muscles and then allow them to relax. Allowing this loving relaxation to spread down into the knees now, to the kneecap, crease at the back of the knees, sides of the knees, allowing them to relax completely. As this soothing, loving calm spreads into the lower legs now, the calf muscles, the shin bone, the outside of the leg. If you'd like, you can squeeze those lower leg muscles and then allow them to relax fully. Feeling this soothing, calming love spread into the ankles, front of the ankles, the bony points in the sides, the Achilles tendon at the back. Feeling this soothing relaxation spreading into the feet, to the heels, the arches of the feet, the tops of the feet, the balls of the feet. Finally, down into the toes. Maybe you like to wiggle the toes, bring some loving attention to each individual toe, the pinky all the way to the big toe. And allow the feet to be still, filled with this loving relaxation. Now let's take another of those deep, calming inhales. Breathing fully, feeling the lungs expand, the lungs expand. And on the exhale, allowing this wave of relaxation to wash down the entire body, washing away all stress, all tension, all washed down out of your body and into the ground. Let's do that again, breathing deeply, inhaling the nourishing air. And the exhale, allowing this loving relaxation to cascade down the body. Tip of the head all the way down through the feet, washing away all tension, all negativity. Let it all wash down out of your body into the ground. Let's do that one final time. Inhaling to fill the lungs. And exhaling, feeling this loving relaxation wash down the entire body. Washing away anything that doesn't serve you. Letting it all wash down into the ground. Now let's sit here for a few moments in this full body loving awareness. Allowing any noises, any sensations to arise and then wash away with the breath. Allowing any thoughts to arise and then just wash away with the breath. Be replaced by this soothing, loving relaxation. And just sit here for a few moments, soaking in this calm, soothing love. And as we're sitting here in this calm, loving awareness, I invite you to bring your hands up to your face, just up to your cheeks. Feel your cheeks, feel your skin, feel the softness of your skin. Maybe you say out loud, "Hello, beautiful." Maybe even if that feels uncomfortable or feels embarrassing, feels awkward, maybe just give it a try. Just try those words out. See how it feels to put your hands on your face and say, "Hello, beautiful." Maybe move your hands up to your forehead, top of your head. And if you feel like it, maybe you say, "Hello, beautiful." And you can start exploring your neck, your ears, just connecting with your body, showing your body some love, some appreciation. Whenever you feel like it, whenever you get to a new body part, maybe your hands reach your neck, say, "Hello, beautiful." Maybe moving your hands to your shoulders now, your arms. You can say, "Hello, beautiful." You can give yourself a little squeeze, give yourself a hug, wrapping your arms around yourself. And say, "Hello, beautiful." You move your hands down to your belly, give your stomach a little squeeze and say, "Hello, beautiful." Maybe moving your hands down to your legs now. If you feel like it, you can say, "Hello, beautiful legs." And then when you're ready, you can start to deepen your inhales. Start to bring your awareness back into this shared space. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. So how's everyone feeling after that meditation and after that little exercise?
Good and relaxed.
Good. Is that,
But,
yeah.
I was just gonna say, I always find meditations very rejuvenating.
Sure. And how about the connecting with the body exercise?
It was a little awkward.
Yeah.
I got the giggles a little, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it can feel awkward at first because
Hello, beautiful.
right. I mean, that's not something we usually say to ourselves, right? It's not a normal thing to say to yourself. But I think it should be. I think we should try to normalize that. Try to normalize telling ourselves we're beautiful, because we're all beautiful.
In high school, I had a compact that just had a mirror in it, like on both sides, and on it it said "Hello, beautiful." And every time I opened it in high school, I got the giggles, and so I think that's what did it for me.
Oh, that's a great idea for a makeup mirror. Yeah,
Mhm.
cool. Great. So tonight, seeing as how last week was Thanksgiving, I thought we could talk a little bit about gratitude, and especially about the practice of gratitude, that idea of gratitude as a practice to improve our lives. And this idea of gratitude, I'm sure you're both familiar with it. It's one of those ideas that's commonly thrown around in the spiritual community and made into memes and all that stuff. And although it's a very beautiful idea, beautiful practice, but the real meaning of it can get lost when it's thrown around so casually, turned into memes. And so, especially specifically this idea of a gratitude practice, I thought we could back up and start with discussing why do this, why practice gratitude, why spend time cultivating a feeling of gratitude. And so this goes along with some of the themes that we've talked about in the past, about changing our perception of our lives, changing our experience of our daily lives, and trying to reprogram our subconscious so that we have our subconscious perception of the world changes over time. And so cultivating a gratitude practice, or practicing feeling gratitude, that's one way to start reprogramming our subconscious. And so sometimes it may think, if we just hear this practice being thrown around, we might think it just means trying to force ourselves to feel grateful. And that never works, right? Emotions arise from our subconscious based on our lifetime of experiences in response to our environment. So we can't really choose the emotions that we have. Emotions are just reactions that arise spontaneously from our subconscious. So we can't force ourselves to feel gratitude, but we do have some control over how we direct our thoughts. We can have some influence on the thoughts that we have. Now, some thoughts thoughts arise from emotions, and sometimes we have thoughts that come from emotions that we may not want to have. We may have quote unquote bad thoughts. And that doesn't make us a bad person, just because thoughts, like emotions, they just arise based from our subconscious. But we do have some choice, some control. We can influence our thoughts throughout the day. So we can choose to focus on particular things, choose to focus on ideas, choose to focus on feelings that over time will start to reshape our subconscious. And over time, the more time we spend focusing on happier feelings, happier thoughts, more productive thoughts, it can over time shape our subconscious so that our subconscious is more likely to react in more positive ways throughout the day. So we can't force ourselves in a particular moment to feel differently, but over time, we can influence our tendencies, how we tend to react to our life. And so that's where a gratitude practice, it can be a nice way to spend time and influence our thoughts towards a feeling of gratitude. And this particular talk was inspired by a Matt Kahn video that I watched, where he talked about gratitude as a step along the road towards love. So say we don't love our lives right now. We don't. There's circumstances in our lives that we don't love, and we would like to feel more love for them. Well, jumping from where we are, from not love, straight into love, that can be a big leap. And so instead of just trying to love our lives or love our environment, we can first just try to be grateful for our lives, be grateful for the circumstances and situations that we find ourselves in life. And so what exactly does that mean, having a gratitude practice? And that can mean many different things to lots of different peoples. I've started in the last month or so really trying to incorporate a gratitude practice into my daily morning practice. And I used to struggle with this idea of gratitude for a long time, because I think it's often because when we're not feeling grateful, there's a reason we're not feeling grateful. And it never made sense to me to just make myself feel grateful. So I always struggled with this idea of gratitude, of trying to be grateful when I'm not grateful. That's because we can't, like I was saying before, we can't force ourselves to feel grateful. We can't just change how we're feeling. We can't decide that we want to feel grateful. But one thing we can do to try to influence our feelings or try to shift how we're feeling is to remember a time in the past when we felt a certain emotion. So we do this in some of our heart-centered meditation practices when we remember times of love to help feel love in our hearts. We can do the same thing with gratitude. And I've found in my experience, it can help to start with really small things, almost trivial things that we feel grateful for. If we want to have a gratitude practice, we can start by just remembering something that we're grateful for. So one thing that works for me every day, every morning is I'm grateful for my bed, because I have a nice comfy bed with a nice heavy comforter, and it's usually chilly here in the mornings in Humboldt County. So every morning I start off snuggled up in my nice warm bed, and it's really comfy and really nice. And so the first thing in the morning when I'm meditating, it's easy to remember where I just was in bed. And it's easy for me to really, truly be grateful for having this nice, comfy bed, because it makes me feel nice every time to be snuggled in my nice, warm bed. And so just remembering that, just feeling that, it helps create this feeling, helps me remember what it feels like to be grateful. And just it's a little bit. So even though we can't force ourselves to feel a particular way, through practices like this, we can remember what it feels like to feel grateful. And once we start feeling that, then it's easy to remember other things we're grateful. And it's easy to remind ourselves to be grateful for other things. And it can really help us to be grateful for the things that we take for granted in life. All of us, we have our struggles in life. We definitely have stuff we're going through. We have challenges. But a lot of us, especially if you're listening right now here in America, we do have a lot of material comforts that we tend to take for granted. And so reminding ourselves and feeling grateful for these simple things can really help us bring more gratitude in our lives. So I usually, like I said, I start feeling grateful for my bed, and then feeling grateful, and it helps me feel grateful for my apartment. I mean, I have my own space here. It's this funky little odd, weirdly laid out apartment that kind of suits me well. And so then I feel grateful for that. And I feel grateful for my car, that I have a car that I can drive around with and get to places. Thankful for my little extra room that I have where I can set up a table to do puzzles at. So, I mean, just starting with these silly, simple things can really help us feel better, feel grateful, and bring this feeling of gratitude and joy into our lives. And then it usually leads me to feeling grateful for my family, for my mom and my dad, and my sister, and my brother-in-law, my nephews. And then I remind myself to be grateful for all my friends that I have, all of you guys that join me on Zoom, and my friends here in Humboldt County. And from there, it's just, you can go wherever your life takes you. I'm grateful for food that you have, grateful for children in your lives, other family members. And I think it's really, since I've started making this part of my daily practice, it is improving my mood throughout the day. Just spending this time feeling grateful, filling my brain with these thoughts of gratitude, these feelings of gratitude. So over time, it's starting to change my subconscious. So when I used to wake up in a funk quite a bit, but now so I've really kind of been embracing my morning practice as a time to feel more gratitude and feel more love with these heart-centered meditation techniques, just spending time feeling love in my body, feeling love pouring through my body. And it's so any amount of time that we can spend doing this throughout the day, over time, it's going to improve our experience of life. Over time, our subconscious will start reacting more naturally with gratitude, with love. And so I think that's a good place for now to stop. Like I said, I'm sure none of this is new information, but this idea of gratitude does get lost in the phrase sometimes. So I thought it would be fun to take a deeper dive into gratitude and just talk about the joy that it can bring into our lives. So any questions or comments on that? Anything I missed? Anything I left out?
Well, I mean, I just completely agree with you. I started doing a gratitude journal 2 years ago. I got divorced and my headspace was just not great, and I was trying to find different ways to try to get centered again. And that's when I started to write in a gratitude journal, and I've done it every day since, and it really has made a huge difference. Just overall, as far as, like I said, my headspace was not great around 2 years ago, but over time and slowly, like you're saying, like some days, some of the things I write down could be, well, a lot of days, fall, or, it's sunny outside, I went for a walk, or, just anything, but it really does just help refocus your mind to be grateful for what you do have. There's a lot of things out there, even if you wake up and you aren't feeling all that great or grateful.
Right.
I have a friend that I eat lunch with every day, and she exchanges an email with her husband every day. They email something to each other that they're thankful for. And I was like, that is so sweet. So
Yeah.
I like your idea of a journal, because like I don't really have anyone I would like be emailing that to, but I like the idea of a journal, just kind of keep track of it on your own. And I liked that idea because I think we tend to dwell on the negative. And I mean, that's the way the brain is, because we want to avoid, if we burn ourselves, we don't want to burn ourselves again. So like we are going to remember the negative more. I was reading about why we tend to be negative, and that's like the way the brain is wired to protect itself. So like understanding that helped me understand why I was so negative all the time, because I was trying to avoid these things.
Yeah. Our minds evolved to look for the negative, to, like you're saying, to protect us when we were living, as slightly smart monkeys back in the savannah. Our brains evolved looking for a problem. Our brains evolved as problem identifying mechanisms. And so there's that, like that saying says, that when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So for the brain, which evolved to solve problems, everything looks like a problem. So yeah, like you're saying, we have this innate tendency towards negativity. And also just there's a lot of negativity in the world right now, from news, from social media. I mean, there's just constant negativity bouncing around in our psychic shared collective headspace. So yeah, but we can counteract that. We have some control over our experience of life. Cool. All right, well, let's meditate again. Let's do a heart-centered meditation. So once again, we can close our eyes, feel into our bodies. Notice your feet from the ground, connecting you to the earth. Notice your hips connecting you to your seat. Feel into your torso, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Let's take one of those deep cleansing inhales, breathing to fill the lungs. And exhale. Now, I invite you to remember, let's do a gratitude meditation. So I invite you to remember something you feel grateful about, no matter how silly or ridiculous it is. Maybe if you have favorite food, or if you like coffee or tea or chocolate, whatever it is, something that you really love, that really makes you grateful. So whatever it is, imagine that now. Feel that feeling of gratitude. If you'd like, maybe you can bring your hands to your heart, of your heart chakra, to help connect that feeling to your heart. So let's imagine this feeling of gratitude. And as you're feeling grateful, maybe you think of other things in your life that you're grateful for. So as we're feeling this gratitude, let's imagine as we inhale that, breathing this gratitude into our lungs, breathing this warm feeling into our lungs, feeling it swirl around inside our chest as we inhale. And as we exhale, let's imagine we're funneling this gratitude right into our hearts. We're inhaling, imagine we're breathing in this gratitude. If you're a visual person, you can imagine beautiful pastel colors swirling into your chest as you inhale. And as you exhale, just imagine you're focusing, funneling, channeling this gratitude right into your heart. Allow this warm feeling of gratitude to fill your heart, fill your wounds, soak in all the cracks in your heart, surrounding your heart with this warm, healing, compassionate feeling of gratitude, love, joy, happiness. So let's continue this technique as we sit here for a few minutes. Breathing in, filling up with gratitude, and exhaling, focusing that warm, thankful gratitude feeling right into our hearts. When you're ready, you can allow your breath to return to normal. Start to bring your awareness back into this shared space. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. So how was that technique? How was that practice?
It's nice.
Cool. Yeah, so just as we go through the day, as we go through our day, like we talked about, there's lots of messages of negativity out there. So whenever we think about it, maybe spend a minute or two focusing on gratitude or focusing on love, any of these techniques that we practice. Just whenever we think about it throughout the day, we can try to influence our thoughts towards a little more happier, happier feelings, less negativity, less seriousness. And so any questions or comments about anything?
I like this topic. I think it is important.
Yes, I like it too. And I think it's important also. One little note, as we're in the final part of the year now, and one thing I've been noticing more recently in recent years, and recently I've been learning more about astrology and kind of natural cycles of life. And this time of year, as we're heading down into the lowest, the darkest time of the year, it's a natural for everywhere in the natural world. Everything is slowing down, calming down, hibernating, burrowing internally. Now, this part of the year has always seemed the busiest to me. And I think that's just because trying to do anything, trying to do much this time of year takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort because our natural inclination and because everything in the world is kind of slowing down and turning inward. And so I guess I just want to say, give yourself permission to do less, to be less, to spend more time going inside, going internally, because that's what this time of the year is meant for, this dark time of the year. I think the Native Americans call this the time for being still, right? Or the time for telling stories, less doing, more being, more contemplating.
More napping.
Yes, more napping, definitely. Give yourself permission to nap. That's what this time of year is meant for. So Yeah, I don't know if anyone needs to hear that.
I think it's always good to hear that.
Yeah, especially with our busy culture, always telling us to do more, be more, buy more.
Especially as you mentioned right now, that's on blast.
Right, yeah, with the Christmas season, and a lot of people are feeling more financial strain because there's this pressure to buy presents, show our love through presents instead of showing our love through actions and words.
Reminds me of that one song, Money Can't Buy You Love.
Right? Yeah, as much as our culture still tries to tell us that. All right, well, why don't we end with a little I love you practice. So let's do this for a minute or so. So we can close our eyes, maybe put our hands on our heart. That feels good. And then we'll just repeat out loud, I love you. We can make it playful, change the tone. I love you. I love you, Matthew. You can throw your name in there. I love you. Or maybe if that feels too awkward, that feels too uncomfortable, you can say, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for myself. Maybe it's easier to say it in that second person. I love myself. I'm grateful for myself. I accept myself. So whatever words bring comfort to you, whatever words bring joy and love, feel free to repeat those. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Accept you, Matthew, exactly as you are. I love you. Love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Love you. I love you. I'm so very grateful for you. I love you. I love everything about you. Accept everything about you. Grateful for everything about you. I love you. I love you. Just let that sink in. Let that feeling of love sink in. Or let that feeling of awkwardness sink in. However that makes you feel, it's okay. So we're about out of time for this week. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for tuning in. I love you all.
Love you. Thank you.
I'm grateful
Thank
for all.
you. Namaste.
Namaste. The light in me bows to the light in you. So have a good week. And I'll see you the next time I see you.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.